When I was 12 years old, I became a stand-up comedian, and that became my passion. I didn't know I had the talent to do it. I always liked to make people laugh, but never in that capacity. And when I discovered that I could do celebrity impersonations and impersonations of people I knew, I found what I loved. And the reaction I got was incredible. So, in that time frame, I would perform at parties, family functions, school events, the classroom. Teachers would actually stop class 5 minutes early and have me perform a stand-up routine. And this was more than one teacher. This was like 3 or 4 who did this. So, at that same time, I discovered the late night talk shows. I discovered Johnny Carson. Well, I knew who Johnny Carson was. I did grow up seeing a show from time to time, but at 12 years old, I became a regular viewer. And then I noticed Arsenio Hall. He was the new guy. And then David Letterman. And eventually Jay Leno. And Jay Leno was guest hosting Johnny Carson's Tonight Show every Tuesday night. And I watched these guys and I was like, that's what I want to do. That's it. That's it. That became my dream. I love the thought of making people laugh every night and doing your comedy and me being able to do my impersonations and interview celebrities and all that and music. And I thought, oh, I love this. I want to do this so bad. It was so exciting to me. And I dreamt about it all the time, every day. I would daydream about it. I would write about it. And soon after, I actually built a replica talk show desk and studio in my basement. As a matter of fact, here's the photo of it right now. This is the actual photo of my fake set. And I put a lot of detail into it, and I made sure it was real. And I would sit behind that desk and, imagine talking to celebrities and what that would be like. And I just couldn't wait. I wanted it so bad. That became my dream. But guess what? When I turned 16 years old, that dream came true. It became a reality. Now take a look at these pictures. These are photos of my actual TV show. That fake set became real. I had a real microphone, a studio audience, lighting, a real cast and crew, a stage. And we aired the show on cable. Our show became a big hit. Now, it wasn't easy. We had a lot of difficult times, a lot of challenges. But the fact is, something I had dreamt about doing, I was doing. And I was on television, and I had a lot of fans and a lot of people watching it. As a matter of fact, for our particular cable company, we had become their most watched show in their history. And they were telling me that every time we were on, they'd get a lot of phone calls. We were a little bit edgy. But the point is, it happened. Something that I dreamt about when I turned 12 years old became real. And I made it out of nothing. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to do a television show. I had no connections. But I made it happen because I believed in it. And everybody around me, they didn't believe in it. When I told them I wanted to do a show, they were like, okay. It took a while for me to convince them to actually come to my studio and film a show with me. And once they did, and once they saw it, they were like, okay, you're serious. And I remember after we had been doing episodes for nearly a year, we were doing one particular episode, and my original cameraman, he was the guy who actually helped us get on television. And we moved from 2 different stations. We were on our hometown's public access, and then we moved to regional cable, which is kind of like what Wayne and Garth were on, if you remember that skit on Saturday Night Live. We weren't just seen in our hometown. We were seen all over various parts of our state. So we had a good-sized audience. And he walks into the studio. He left after our first 5 episodes. So he comes into the studio, and not having been there for a while, and we were in the middle of a skit, and I could still see his face right now, walking in, because the show had become so much bigger. We had a band, better lighting, better camera, a much bigger studio, a really full-blown show going on here. And he walks in, and the look on his face was... And then he watched us in awe. And after the skit was over and we're like, hey man, how's it going? Welcome back. He goes, you know, I cannot believe you took it this far. You know, when you started this show, it was just this little thing, and I thought you'd probably do about, you know, maybe 10 episodes or so and move on, but wow. This is big. I cannot believe you've gone this far. I wanted to share this story because it proves to you that dreams come true. I wasn't anything special. I had no connections. I didn't have, I wasn't connected to Hollywood at the time. There was nobody that could help me. I just had a dream, and then I figured out a way to make it come true. It doesn't matter what your dream is. If you could figure out how to do it, and then just do it, it could come true. The same thing with my very first movie. I got tired of waiting for the right moment to come. I couldn't afford to go to Hollywood. I couldn't afford to go to auditions because of, at that time, whether I didn't have a car or an unreliable car or whatever it may be. So I decided to just do it. Wrote a screenplay, got the equipment, got everything I needed, and started working on it. And you want to know what's interesting about it? That was my first movie, and a lot of people in my business, we make our first movies, and usually we're not as too proud of them, or they're so low budget, because we all have to have a starting place. Well, that movie I'm proud of. And to this day, it still sells very well on DVD. And that's my first movie. And it was made from barely nothing. So, dreams do come true. You just can't give up on them. You got to believe in them and then make it happen. And they will. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Please be sure to subscribe by clicking here. And hey, while you're at it, visit my site here for lots of cool content and yes, some free stuff. Hey, who doesn't love free stuff? I don't. Shut up.